Of Form 4. We're going to do goal 16 today, and that is about the broader topic of the sugar industry and attitudes to labor. And it takes place roughly after emancipation, in the roughly during the 19th century, and in some cases, even the second half of the 19th century. Like I said before, roughly, mainly actually, going to talk about the questions in which you have to explain and in which you have to describe stuff. Let's look at goal 16. Explain in depth why the refined sugar coming from the Caribbean British colonies could not economically compete with those refined in Britain itself by using the concepts of mercantilism and higher duties fittingly. You see, this is a more technical economic question. So I really need to pay some attention to this. What is refined sugar? To begin with, refined sugar is not the stuff you take out of the sugar cane or the sugar beet, just you take it out of it and you eat it. No, you have to refine it. In other words, you have to do things with it, boil it, abstract it, do chemical stuff with it before you can put it into your tea, your coffee, or your energy drink, or your whatever. Yeah, that's refined sugar. It's gone through a lengthy process to make the sugar out of it that we know. And to refine something, think about oil. You take it out of the ground, you have to do stuff with it in a refinery, Islam, and then you get the oil that you can put in your car. So refine means doing things with it so we can use it in our daily life. Let's look at the answer. The refined sugar coming from the Caribbean and British colonies could not economically compete. Coming back to the question, as you can see. Because the mother country slash Britain did not want its colonies to be able to compete with its manufactured goods. Okay, let's look at the word compete. A lot of you guys compete in some kind of sports, or you game a lot, or you just compete at the gym class with other people because your teacher asked this of you. Compete means you want to show who's best, and of course, your goal is to show that you're better than someone else. Economically compete means if you can make something cheaper, then your price is down and people are more likely to buy it from you. In this case, sugar. So competition economically means how can we produce, make something for the lowest investment, the lowest amount of money possible. That is what economically compete means here. And they didn't want their colonies to be able to compete. Why? Because they didn't want people to buy refined sugar from the colonies. They wanted it to buy refined sugar from Britain itself. Yeah? And a manufactured good means actually something that is manufactured and ready to be able to use. So refined sugar is a manufactured good. Refined oil is a manufactured good. It's ready to be bought by people in the country. Yeah. And that Britain did not want its colonies to be able to compete, but found the mother country the most important, and the mother country has to be able to make most money and has to be able to make the most profit. This we call mercantilism. Pretty important word. For this reason, that of mercantilism, to prevent them from competing, what did Britain do? They put higher duties on refined sugar from its colonies. So you have refined sugar from the colonies, and you have refined sugar coming from Britain, refined sugar, refined sugar. And what does Britain do? They put a disadvantage on those of the colonies by putting higher duties on it. That means more taxes. And because there's higher duties, the price goes up. And that is a disadvantage for the traders in the colonies. And why? They did not want its colonies to be able to compete with British manufactured goods. Yeah, they gave it a disadvantage. And what could the crown and the government in Britain do? Give them higher duties, so people would the price would go up of the refined sugar coming from the colonies, and it would not be able to compete or be able to compete difficult with those refined in Britain itself. Yeah. So again, what happened with the prices of the refined sugar coming from the British Caribbean colonies? The sugar price went up. And when the price of a product goes up more than that of your competitor, that's a disadvantage. Because what will people always buy? The most cheap manufactured good. The most cheap product people are more likely to buy, of course. Yeah? I hope this was helpful. And I hope this helped you with the answer. If you didn't understand, look up in the dictionary what refined means and what higher duties are, what are duties actually. Yeah. And the concept of mercantilism is very important. And basically, it's the mother country from Europe wants to profit, not to come to the colony, but come to the motherland. In this case, that is the motherland of Britain.